Hello, 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 and thanks for being here. If you're watching the replay, let me know that you're here and let me know what you've thought. I wanted to come on because as someone who's studied marketing for a long time and have been in this social media space for a long time. I remember when I was in college, my professor called me the marketing machine. It's evident that a lot, especially this platform, is shifting. And I've been doing some research, and some people were saying that a lot of the spiritual people out there, accounts, a lot of their views have gone down tremendously because there's been a huge issue around imitators, right? I made a whole reel. If you haven't checked it out, go check my reels about what we can do to really combat Instagram copycats. And so rather than feeling victimized by that, I wanted just to come on quickly to ask you if you're actually having a strategy when it comes to your online space. For me, for instance, I've been hermiting a lot because I'm not only navigating through health issues and grief, but I'm also restructuring and coming up with new strategies. And that's something I'm really passionate about, our systems and strategies, because there has to be a purpose and a why. If you're just going to try to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, the likelihood of, experiencing burnout is real. I've been there, and I know that there's a reason why I had to go through that experience so that I can share my wisdom on what not to do. But the thing is that everyone I talk to that's in the spiritual community, and I'm even witnessing it in people with coaching, just in general, that a lot of their views and their engagement has gone down tremendously. Truth is, this was the same pattern that happened with Facebook that eventually killed Facebook. So the only way that they were really pushing or promoting pages was if you were buying ads, and Facebook died. And who knows? I think in a way, Instagram is also going through an interesting time or an interesting experience right now. Because there has been such a rise in censorship as well. So the first thing I want to say is please don't put all of your eggs into one basket, focusing on creating all of your content on Instagram. That's like the biggest, I really want you to understand, is because if you're putting all your eggs in one basket on one platform, remember when that day that Instagram crashed and people were freaking out? Imagine if the platform was completely gone and you were focusing everything on Instagram. So this is why it's important to think about other platforms as well. Maybe you're like TikTok. I'm still having like a hard time with TikTok because there's just so much, and I don't think like it's more of a Generation Zer, or if you're my father. But I think it's also important to make sure that you're building your email list, because you don't own that content, but you have more reins of that content because you're having, your followers' emails and their names. So you have a better connection and relationship with them for your content to be seen, rather than focusing on some algorithm that can be beneficial and supportive for you one day and not so much the other. So number one, make sure you're focused on other platforms. Number two, make sure you're growing an email list. So what I'm saying by that is, like, do you have a freebie? Are you having a webinar? Is there like a free training? What can you do to cultivate that engagement, to cultivate trust with your audience so that they can really show up and start to be of service? Number three, what is your strategy on social media? These platforms want consistency. So you need to understand, with part of that consistency is, what is it that your audience likes to get from you? Is it about business? Is it about meditation? Is it about astrology? Is it card readings? What are the posts in the past that have brought forth a lot of engagement? And what is your plan for allowing that to come back or to be consistent, right? Hey everyone, thanks for joining. I just want you to say, like, I want you to think about, take time away from this and from this scrolling, and I really want you to come up with a game plan on how you're going to allocate your energy. You know, time is precious and it goes away. Like, it's not something that, you know, we can take back. So again, if you're going to be just throwing everything on the wall and seeing what sticks, or you're running yourself over and over again, trying to figure out what works, focus on what has been working. So that's why I know for me, like, I'm working on creating more content around astrology. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen because, like I said, there's a lot of people that have said that the spiritual creators out there, a lot of their content is going to be like kind of put on the back burner because there's been so many copycats. I think it's because we're shaking shit up and bringing more awareness on how people can be in their power and in their sovereignty, which means they can't be controlled by the mass media. But hey, that's just my perspective. I'm going to keep it real. But the biggest thing is, how are you strategizing the type of content you're creating? Are you being consistent? And most importantly, are you actually engaging with your community? Do you have call to actions in your reels? Do you have calls to actions inside your carousel posts? What are you doing to practice engagement so that your audience feels seen and heard and that they can sit at the table with you, right? So I just wanted to come on because, like I said, I'm in this space right now where I've been kind of hermiting. Yes, I've been navigating through a lot of death. 5 deaths in 2.5 months has been a lot, plus all my health shit. But the bigger piece that I wanted to come on, and even my therapist was like, you need to rest. But this is me resting is in a way of sharing, because this is a way that I get to fill my cup. But are you coming up with a strategy? Do you have lists, right? Do you have lists? Do you have systems automated? Do you have checklists that you can automatically put together? And the thing is, bulk it out. You want to be able to bulk out this content so that you can go ahead and focus on having like a month's worth, a quarter's worth, a week. I wouldn't even do it necessarily at that moment. I would say you need to focus on planning ahead of time, because that's what successful entrepreneurs and content creators do. They're not creating content on the fly. Maybe something like this where you have inspired, then inspiration, and you're taking inspired action to be like, you know what, I want to talk about this right now because this is something that's coming up. Go for it, by all means. But again, the bigger piece I really want you to embrace and to really honor is that if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a game plan, you're going to burn yourself out. I've been there, I've done that, and it led me to a lot of health issues. So I'm curious to hear how your engagement has been. Let me know in the comments below. Because like I said, I went to school for marketing, and this is something that I've always been really interested in doing more research and understanding, so that I can not only like better it within myself for my business, but can also create content that can support my audience, so that together we can unleash our medicine and really make an impact with the world. So like I said, I wanted us to come on to really see or to feel how your engagement has been. If you need support with systems, I highly recommend you investing in my program, Alchemize Your Systems, because there's templates there. There's automations there for you. There's tutorials in there so that you can create smarter and not harder. And that for me is something that's really fueling me, because I want you to be more present for yourself. I want you to be more present for your audience. I want you to be more present for your families, for your partners. Hey Cecil, I've got people here now that have experienced my programs that will tell you straight up, wow, they're all coming, that, having these systems set up ahead of time and really being able to automate and plan ahead, it's going to allow you to excel in your business, in your profits, in your outreach. That's what's going to get the engagement going, because first of all, the biggest thing I should say is if you're creating content and you're creating it from this burnout or from this scarcity or like rush, I need to put something out now before it's too late, or that energy is felt, right? It can feel sporadic in that sense. And if everything is vibrationally supportive, or a wake up call, you got to think how all of this is going on. But anyways, someone asked, what if you're in your Saturn return? Well, Jessica, take note of what you're learning from your Saturn return, because as someone who just got out of their Saturn return and now is clearing out the rest of the debris with the shadow period of Saturn return, there's going to be nuggets of wisdom for you in that experience. It's going to be able to help other people down the line. That is a perfect time for you to go ahead and plan ahead, or to start taking notes on the type of content you want to create. Because that's the other thing. People want to engage with you if you're coming from a heartfelt space, right? You're coming from a space where you're letting your soul babe client know, hey, I see you, I've been there, and I'm going to show you how to conquer this faster, more efficiently, with more ease and grace. That's why I created programs like Thrive. My program Thrive was a deep dive so that you can recognize the patterns so that you can get out of your own way. Because those patterns that have been rooted from deep childhood, right? Deep childhood wounds, they're going to also be shown in your business. So if you haven't been, consistent, if a lack of consistency is a pattern of yours, not just in your business, but in your life, it too is going to show in your business. So you need to make sure that you're diving in deep to recognize what are the patterns, because that is going to be a deeper understanding and awareness of how to do better and how to show up better and to actually be from this space of engagement with your community from the overflow. So Jessica, I hope that answered your question. Right, your struggles gift you your strengths. Absolutely. That's why I have here, I got it after my Nana passed, that without suffering, there would be no compassion, because the challenges that we've been able to overcome, there's compassion and strength that comes from that. So absolutely. Cecilia said, currently bulk creating my upcoming podcast, which I learned from Alchemize Your Systems. Going through Sabrina's Thrive program helped me get through major blocks to take the leap. Yes, I love that. I love hearing my soul babes. And it's something, the other piece that I think is really important too, when it comes to engagement, is to make sure that, the content or you showing up online, you're not treating your clients and your students as a less than. They're here to sit in the circle with you as an equal. Maybe you're a few steps ahead of them in that particular area in your life, but there can be things in their life where they can be more advanced than you. And we're here to learn and to grow from each other. So I know for me, the other part that's really important for me with my engagement with my audience is to treat my clients and my followers and my students as people and not just as like a profit. Because I've been in so many programs where they just treat you as like a number. But I think with where we're going in more conscious business, people want to be seen and they want to be treated with an equal level of respect as they see in you. So I think that's the last like major piece that I think isn't talked about enough, because they're always talking about profits and things, which are important. But I think part of the integrity of your brand is to create content and engage with your audience that you already have, to let them know that they're seen, to let them know that they're supported, and to let them know that they're loved. So I just wanted to come on quickly because I wanted to share that from my heart, and I'm really excited for what's to come. I'm finishing editing my book. I'm bulking out a ton of content that's going to support you with your business and your spiritual journey, your systems, and your overall strategy, because these are the things I'm most passionate about. So if you have any questions about Alchemize Your Systems or Thrive, please feel free to reach out. They're also going to be in the notes below, but you can click the link in my bio and you can gain access to all those programs. I've got a lot of really exciting things coming up. And I just wanted to say thank you for your love, and thank you for your support, and thank you for your patience. I've been going through a very, very challenging year. But it's given me strength and it's giving me wisdom so that I can share that with you, so that you can bring that forth in your business. Just trust this process. Again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure that you're focused on other platforms than just one, because you don't have the rights to this. You don't have the list of your followers. You don't have their emails. There's no content information or contact information. That's why I focus on an email list. Focus on an email list, build that up, give them a taste of your medicine. I love you. I'm looking forward to share with you what's coming, and I'm looking forward to see what's going on with your business too. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, DM me, and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care. 𝗧𝗛𝗓.